Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today, bringing you this week's Fallout 4 wishlist series. Now, before anything, be sure to check out the link in the description of my previous video. That's a Fallout 4 discussion on why I have canceled my plans to attend E3 to cover some more Fallout for you guys here at home. Be sure to check that out if you're curious on Matty's life. Anyways, this series is created by your comments, so be sure to let me know in the comment section down below what you would like to see in the next installment of the Fallout franchise. If your comments are awesome enough, you'll be featured in this series just like Tango Charlie. He says Fallout 4 should add more aquatic life. Mirelurks were the only thing we've had to deal with in the water, and most of the time they are on land or in really shallow water. How about adding a form of a mutant shark or squid, or an extremely dangerous electric eel, stingray, jellyfish, piranha, etc. If they do this, they could make underwater loot more challenging and scary to go after. Also, an improved underwater combat system would help make this idea more fun. Now, before we go on with this wish, I don't know if any of those aquatic life creatures are possibly extinct in the Fallout universe. I have not checked up on that. I'm assuming they probably are, since they're not in the game or whatever, just they haven't even thought of them. Who the hell knows? But this idea is crazy enough to work, okay? Because I've noticed in a lot of games, one of the cooler things that they've started to do is started to add more underwater loot, more underwater caves. The Witcher 3 is the most recent example I can think of, where like all these areas kind of loop in with each other, and then there's this whole underground kind of ecosystem in a way where like everything connects, and it's really cool, and there's always treasure there. And I would agree that having this kind of underwater loot system in general would be nice, but obviously you're going to want to have a challenge there, something to make it scary. Now, for most players, it seems, based off the responses to this comment, a lot of people are just afraid of going underwater in games in general. I know Noah does not play BioShock, the original 1 and 2. Same thing with my buddy Connor. They both don't play those BioShock games because of how afraid they are to be underwater in those games. It just gives them this weird claustrophobic feeling or something. I've seen that with a lot of gamers, and for me personally, I don't think much of it because I'm not actually there. But in terms of the game itself, I agree that putting these creatures down there, a way to actually fight them off would be cool. Something not like Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, where there was, what were those eel things that always attacked you in the water? The name's on the tip of my tongue, but those little things, oh my god, they piss me off so much. They always just come up in groups, and you just gotta go and start swinging at them and stuff, and they always get me. I hate it. But anyways, I do agree that adding a little more aquatic life, a little more underwater loot would be cool. Potentially in unmarked areas. That's the kind of the fun part of it. You know, in like GTA 5, it was really cool how you just like find these like random UFOs and stuff underwater deep down below on like the coast way out, and you know, you'd have to be really lucky to find it, but stuff like that would be cool. Obviously not the UFO part, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, moving on to the next wish from EMR Fish 6. Funny that we were just talking about fish. He says, I would like to see something like what they did in Skyrim, where when you clear a mapped location, it says cleared on the map. So say you go into a marked building or a vault and kill everything inside, when you hover over it with your map, it will say cleared, so you know that you've been there and explored it. Yes, yes, yes. How has this not been in this series yet? Oh my god, yes please. There have been so many locations, because obviously whenever I make a video like this, for example, I go on Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, and I go to get some gameplay footage, and sometimes I want to explore new areas, and I think to myself, because I just hop on for like, you know, 10 minutes at a time, I'm like, have I been here before? I can't remember. And I go in there, everyone's dead, and I'm like, end up just roaming the wasteland in the videos, just because it's so much easier to find entertaining things to do out there, rather than look for a building I haven't explored quite yet. So yes, adding a cleared marking would be awesome on the map. Adding to this wish, please, for the love of God, Bethesda, do what you did in Skyrim, where when I completed a dungeon, you know, I killed the final enemy, and I was in the final room, there was this like sound cue, and in Skyrim it was like da-da, kind of like that, and I'd love it for Bethesda to add this into Fallout, so when I'm done with an area, or I'm at the end of an area, I know it, and then I start kind of looking for the exits. It's kind of like a sound cue, like your time in here is done, you've done everything, good job, now go on outside and keep exploring. And I love that as well. Those two things in Skyrim made it so much more fun to explore, because you never got that feeling like, you know, oh man, I went back and missed a path or something like that. You knew you were done. You know, it kind of gave you this closing feeling to the dungeon. But nonetheless, the main focus on this wish was the cleared markings, which I would like to see as well, so that I can kind of, we've all kind of gotten in those modes where in Fallout, you know, you unlock the Explorer perk, and then you have all these areas listed on the map, and you just go one by one by one, just constantly going through them all and exploring them and getting everything inside them. And it'd be nice to kind of have this like almost check mark next to them to let you know you've been here or something like that. But nonetheless, fantastic wish, EMR Fish. And moving on to our final wish from Zombie Slayer 8047. He says, I wish there is more critical V.A.T.S choices. Like you could aim at the neck area and make the opponent suffocate, or that you could aim for the heart and one-shot them, or even shoot at the testicles and make the opponent fall on the ground in pain. Of course, these shots would have low percentages to hit them, like 5 to 10%, and even lower depending on how far away you are. I would love something like that. Now, I totally agree with this. V.A.T.S is nothing that will ever get stale in the Fallout series, I promise you that, but I can see Bethesda innovating on the V.A.T.S system in general and adding a little bit more to it. One particular feature I could see them definitely adding is almost like the bullet time feature in Fallout Wanderers Edition, where you could kind of use V.A.T.S in multiple ways. But this is another way, it's just adding more choices to the V.A.T.S system, such as this, is aiming for the neck and shooting them. If you nick like the middle of their neck or something, with nick, you go through the middle of the neck, they kind of just grab their throat and drop. These could be like considered kill shots that cost a lot more AP and are low chance hits, but they could be those sacrifice hits that you want to go for if your health's like right down at the bottom. Something along those lines would be really cool. It kind of reminds me also of Sniper Elite, you know, V2 or Sniper Elite 3, where, you know, you could actually, when it goes into X-ray mode, you can actually see where you're shooting through these people. And I'm not asking for V.A.T.S to do that. That's a lot of tech. Trust me when I say that. That takes a lot for the game to show where these bullets are going and stuff. But more so, I just think that's kind of would paint a picture in your head of what that could actually be like when you're shooting through these body parts and whatnot. I think it would be really nice to see Bethesda kind of add these extra places to shoot them. Especially because, in a way, Fallout has that dark humor, and just being able to shoot enemies in the testicles when it comes to the males would be kind of funny for the immature little Fallout fans running around playing. But regardless, I do agree that having these kind of kill shot areas would be really cool. But let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below with your wishes for the Fallout franchise. As always, this series is created by your comments, so be sure to place them down below. Anyways, thank you again, Tango Charlie, EMR Fish, Zombie Slayer 8047 for your fantastic wishes, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.